Hi there, it's Mr. Clark. Welcome to lesson 4.1.5 on second inversion triads. So, in the previous lesson, we looked at inverting once, where instead of the root, now you have the third on the bottom. Now we're going to invert for a second time. And we take the third, and that's no longer on the bottom, so we're left with the fifth on the bottom. Again, it doesn't matter what the upper voice is doing as long as the fifth is on the bottom. So here are some examples. In terms of the figured bass thing we were talking about, where root position is actually 5-3, but we ignore that because it's just assumed. 6-3, again, we just kind of assume the third. Here, both the 6 and the 4 are not super usual, so we indicate both of them. We have a superscript 6 and a subscript 4. So if you want to indicate your inversion, if you're dealing with jazz, I'll talk about this in some jazz unit that doesn't exist yet, but you would just write the chord, and then if you want a specific bass note, you would write slash, and then whatever bass note you want. So this notation favors what the actual chord is. This favors what the function of the chord is within the key. So most of the time when you're writing music, you can interchange root position and first inversion triads just for whatever kind of sound you want, but there are generally specific uses for the second inversion 6-4 chords, such that they're not interchangeable with the other two. Mostly because old dead white European men decided that a fourth above the lowest note is a dissonance. Not totally sure why they decided it. Hopefully I'll find out at some point. But because of that, which we'll talk about more at a later date, having this fourth makes the chord less stable. So there are certain prescribed uses for it that we'll talk about more in Unit 8. But for now, you can write and recognize second inversion triads, which is what we're going for. See you next time.